Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about the Taekwondo sadist, aka Juri, an absolutely lovely looking, psychotic looking character, but definitely has quite the appealing look. Although I will say that it is a little wacky sometimes looking at her pose, but for those of you fans that are of Taekwondo and of Juri, you're going to love the living crap out of it because it's all about the feet, it's all about the legs with this type of martial arts and with this type of character. So I'm actually really happy to talk about her today because she has a very unique kit, and some people think that she really isn't very strong or that she isn't as good as she should be, and that's always a matter of opinion, guys. We always want our favorite characters to be as strong as possible, but in my humble opinion, after what you're going to see today, I think you might agree that at A1, I'm going to be talking about all these characters at A1. We'll be comparing every single one of them throughout these videos so you guys get an idea of just how strong they are compared to each other at A1, all right? And believe me, things can change drastically when they are at A5. There can be quite a few differences because you're actually unlocking their EX core. But before I talk about Juri, I do want to talk a little bit about this Street Fighter 6 pass. Now, I did go ahead and buy this first pack that was for $9, and you're going to get quite a few summons out of this thing, and you're going to get, a few rubies. It's honestly well worth it, guys. And the second part is 50 American dollars. You're going to get 4,500 rubies. You're going to get some lucky spinners, and you're going to get an EX generic memory, and you're going to get summons for Volume 1 and Volume 2. Honestly, guys, the ruby to dollar ratio is actually pretty good in this thing. It's actually a pretty decent deal if you are one of those people that spend money. However, the thing is, if you're trying to get Cammy, right, if those of you that might be trying to get Cammy or let's get a copy of her, level her up, when you buy this, it doesn't do anything for her as far as her mileage. If that is something that you are concerned about, they really should have put a copy of her in here. But I digress. It is what it is. A bit of a sore spot when we talk about Cammy. But let's get back to the good spot, which is Juri right for now, right? So Juri is a purple balanced TIE fighter. And by the way, guys, whenever your character's A1, you can't use plugins on them, all right? You cannot use these plugins on them. And for those of you that don't know, these little guys can add a tremendous amount of bonuses to your characters. They can increase the damage of their skills, increase the damage of the EX cores, increase their attack, increase their HP, all kinds of things, right? Just increase their stats and make your characters tremendously stronger, right? They need to be A3, 3-star, in order to be able to do this, okay? So at A1, none of them are going to have plugins, and I kind of really wanted to do that intentionally. So she increased the attack for purple fighters by 70%. Now this is really great because it works on every purple fighter in the game. And she does have some insane buffs, as a lot of these UE characters do, with the 600% increase to attack. The PG rate is amazing. The critical rate by 30%. I mean, she does lots of critical hits, critical damage by 350%. And then she has what's called FUA. So she gains 1 FUA up to 3 stacks. So you can gain 3 FUA and decrease active skill cooldowns by 0.6 seconds upon using a basic attack. So this is enacted right away, guys. So whenever you start playing with the character and you start just doing your basic attacks, you're actually decreasing your skill cooldown quite quickly, and you're building up these FUAs. So if you notice, you'll do your basic attacks quite a few times. You'll actually build up 3 FUAs right away. And whenever you use those FUAs, like so whenever you use your active skills afterwards, each use of active skill consumes 1 FUA and increases active skill damage by 100% for 3 seconds, up to 300%. What that means is whenever you do your basic attacks and you build up 3 FUAs, every time you do your FUA afterward 3 times in a row, your active skill damage goes up to 100%, to 200%, to 300%. So for example, after you do 3 FUAs, you build them up with your basic attacks, active skill 1, 100% damage, active skill 2, 200%, active skill 3, 300%, right? So you kind of get the drift of how this works. And remember, this is called emergence of arrogance, and that's going to be important to remember, as we'll talk about later on. Then she has what's called impressible force, which decreases the target defenses by 40% up to 80%. So you want to make sure you land a couple hits to always get this for 20 seconds upon landing an active skill, and increases the target damage received by 50% up to 100%. And again, you want to land an attack a couple times, so this is applied for that 20 seconds upon landing that skill. And you definitely are going to do that, guys, because you're going to use both of your skills. Then she's also immune to fear, petrify, burn, and darkness. She decreases damage received by 80%. She has an immunity core, which is great on an 8-second cooldown. Every other 3 seconds, guys, she's going to have this immunity core when her HP is below 30%. That is awesome. Active skill damage is up to 300%. Basic attack damage, 1500%. So she does a lot of damage off her basic attacks. I might even try to improve her rotation. She might even be stronger than what I'm even going to show you guys, to be perfectly honest, because she does have some really nice attack buffs. And that first stone that you get for these characters is really sweet. So when we go down to the imprint stone, because she's only A1, she only has the first stone, and this is why her base attack is so good. Like, This stone increased your basic attack by, 100%. And with that bonus from her core, that really, really helps her damage tremendously, right? Now, something about when you play with an A1 character, for those of you that don't know, A1 characters cannot unlock these stats where you can actually level up their skills, right? When you can level up these skills, so an example, Juri's case, her third skill does a ridiculous amount of damage. It's almost like a built-in concentrate the way this thing's set up. This third skill you'd want maxed out all the way up to 5, so that way it would do the most damage. That thing is ridiculous on her, but because she's only A1, this is not unlocked. They need to be awakened level 30, which means 3-star. And the same thing with these things here, right? So it doesn't really matter how many Phantom State bars or how many purple bars you're going to see on the screen, because this is not enacted. It's not going to make any difference at all. So when I'm playing with her right now at A1, I'm going to be using her UE skill or Phantom UE skill over and over and over. All right, so when you go to skills, you click on here, right? You can see the P Awaken. This is just your awakening skill. Your UE skill is the skill that's on the bottom. You can see the way the icon looks. And then the Phantom UE skill, you do have this, but you don't have these things unlocked. You don't have these unlocked, right? You don't have. That's why it doesn't matter if you don't have any Phantom State bars on your character, which are these 3 purple bars that you actually build up just like you do the 5 regular power gain bars. So do keep that in mind. But if you notice and you read the skills, right, you'll notice that whenever you do a Phantom UE skill, and the way a Phantom UE skill works is you hit your Awaken skill, and once you hit your Awaken skill, your UE skill changes to a Phantom UE skill. And you actually will get the immediately gain 3 FUA stacks upon use and grants the full emergence of Arrogance core, which means whenever you hit this skill, you automatically have her core completely maxed out. This core is maxed out for that 10 seconds. So whenever you're playing with her, you'll notice that the FUA stacks won't deplete whenever you're using the Phantom UE skill. If you're not using the Phantom UE skill, you'll notice that they will deplete. I'll show you guys that in a little bit, but it's pretty nice, guys. Her one skill, she applies fear to the target, but you got to land the skill. We've had characters in the past where you'd hit a skill and it just applies to everybody on the screen, which honestly, I never thought Netmarble should have implemented, because it really takes a lot of skill out of the game whenever you can apply CC from anywhere on the screen. So for me, it makes me happy to see this kind of thing because it's a more balanced way of applying CC. In all honesty, guys, it's so much better, especially for a fighting game. That apply to everybody on the screen crap is just too broken, and I think maybe Netmarble might have realized that. You also have Blackout or Darkness to the target for 4 seconds upon landing a skill, guard included, deals darkness damage equal to 5% of attack every 0.3 seconds, and decreases power gauge by 2%. She also decreases target movement speed by 50%, which can be very, very handy, but you have to land the skill again. The second skill, and by the way, this first one is a blast. The second skill removes the target's guard upon landing a skill. This is really, really great for PvP. If they don't have super armor or hyper armor up, you can do some serious damage to them, and on top of that, you remove their hyper armor and super armor and their critical hit shield and shield landing skill. So this is honestly a really broken damn skill to have, but you do have to land the skill. And again, guys, like for me, when you land skills, that to me is a way more balanced way of having some OP characters instead of just apply to everybody on the screen. I really did hate that crap in the past. And then we have the third skill that has hyper armor for 5 seconds, which is broken. Decrease target's momentum by 20% of own momentum for 10 seconds upon landing skill. This is going to be really, really good in the plug-in plan. It's going to be really, really good in Tower of Illusion, and it's going to be really, really good in the Ages Challenge that we're going to have coming up in, less than a couple weeks. So do keep that in mind. It's not something that's really going to be very beneficial to the video I'm going to show you today, but against those modes, it will be. And then our default's kind of the same thing, right? It is an interrupt skill, so if you're in danger and somebody can actually hit you while you're doing your default in an iframe, you can actually, use this skill whenever you are, standing, your feet on the ground, or you're airborne, so you can get out of dangers. Very, very powerful, guys. It's really an underrated thing that characters get. And then she decreases targets overpowered by 20% of own momentum. The same thing as we mentioned earlier. And again, for Tower of Illusion, for the plug-in plan, and for the Ages Challenge, this is going to be a really good thing to have. She might be a broken character in those game modes, guys. We don't really know just yet. And then when we look at her cards, I'm using this set cards on her. Now these cards are, honestly, guys, going to be pretty damn awesome for her. And you know what I need to do? I just noticed this. I didn't even have this leveled up. Not bad, not bad. Good job, good job. Listen, gotta level that up. I mean, come on now. How are we going to do a review if we don't even have things set up right? Let me check and make sure. Okay, they're all, so I just forgot the one, right? But anyways, these cards are OP for the Street Fighter 5 and 6 characters, right? I mean, they're OP, guys. Lots of critical rate, lots of critical damage, and lots of attack up to 180%. Just potent as hell. Now, I'm using these two option cards because this option card actually increases the Street Fighter 5 or 6 characters' attack by 50%, which is massive for them. And the extra critical rate, decreased skill cooldown is always really good. And then this card here does increase attack by 20%, right? It's probably not the best card, but it's the best one that I have available for this particular character. Now, her 3PG does increase the enemy's darkest damage received by 30% for 10 seconds after using this skill, all right? So it's really, really important after you use your 3PG to use her first skill to apply the darkness. You're going to get a lot more damage after doing it. You're going to get a lot more damage after, guys. So that's always something to remember whenever you are playing with her. Now, her Infinity is leveled up. It is maxed out. Well, not maxed out, but it's at level 10. And level 10 is whenever your Infinity is maxed out. And you do want to do this because you want that critical damage by 12% when it's at level 4. And you want all these extra HP and increased attack and, of course, the rubies whenever it's at level 10. From 11 to 15, you're just going to get a bunch of prime memory shards. And these are really, really handy whenever the character's at A5. When she's 5-star, then you can use these to get another type of memory that actually can take her from A5 to A6. And then from A6 to A7 and A7 to A8 and A8 to A9, right? To really jack them up. Right? She's a really, really cool character, especially aesthetically. And, you know, the sadist part of me, or the sadist part of her, I just think is funny as hell, right? She just loves hurting people. That's kind of her thing. She loves kicking the crap out of them and knocking them down. So let's jump into a little guild raid, guys, because this is kind of how we gauge how strong characters really are. And let me show you kind of what I'm talking about with this character, like as far as her FUA, right? So let me get in here and let's do a little something. So let me show you guys how she kind of works, right? So I'll show you guys right away that if you just do your basic attacks, you can actually build up your FUA quite quick. And remember, after you build up the 3 FUAs, you can actually increase your damage up to 300% for each active skill you use. It's 100% per active skill, but only up to 300%. So if I get behind Geese here, you'll notice at the bottom, okay? And if you notice, right there's her 3 FUA, right? Now watch what happens when I use a skill. There's 2. Now we got 1, right? And so we use them, right? Now the thing about her is, whenever you use her UE skill, so right now this is a UE skill, right? But whenever you change this to a Phantom UE, you hit this skill first, and then you hit this skill to change it to a Phantom UE skill. So let me get out of here, okay? So we'll hit the Awaken skill first, we'll do a couple skills, and then you'll notice right when I hit the Phantom UE skill, bam! 3 stacks right there. And those 3 stacks will stay for 10 seconds. And then you can just hit your 3rd skill and do a bunch of damage, right? Now let me show you guys an actual run that I did that will give you a better idea of how strong she really is. But I just wanted to show you guys kind of how she works. Her basic attacks are what build up the FUA. Or whenever you do the Phantom UE skill, that's also what builds up her FUA automatically. And it stays maxed out for that entire 10-second duration during the Phantom UE skill. So it's just important to have some darkness applied whenever you're doing that 3rd skill, especially because you're going to do quite a bit more damage. So let's bring it up right now, guys, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about with her, all right? So whenever I play with her, guys, I really just do the 3rd skill to get that hyper armor, and then I just do a couple basic attacks and build up the FUA, and then I go 1, 2, and I get that extra damage, right? And remember, again, it doesn't matter if you have the purple bars at the bottom because she doesn't have the Phantom UE unlocked. She doesn't have that core unlocked. So what I do is, you know, I'm going to try to hit the Awaken skill, and then I'm going to hit her Phantom UE skill. And that 3rd skill is so awesome, guys. Like that kick. Look at that. I just love it. I just love the living hell of it, man. She's a total kicking machine, right? And this 3PG is just so awesome. Now, I know it's not her, you know, her level 3 critical art. I know it's not. But it's still badass. I still love it. You know, the slam down with her foot. It's still kick ass. I love the default with the spinnings. Just so cool, right? And she's really a super easy character to play. Now, right there, you guys can see that I used 3 bars of that purple bar at the bottom, but it didn't really give her any buffs because, again, she doesn't have the Phantom UE skill unlocked. You'll get that unlocked when they're at A5. You get the UE skill when they're at A3. So that is something to keep in mind, guys. Like, she isn't going to get near the buffs the way she is right now, which goes to show you how strong she is, you know, with no plugins or anything like that. And all these reviews I'm going to be doing of these characters, they're going to be at A1. So you guys can, you know, make your own judgment about what you think about each of these characters. But it's just really important, guys, you really want to build up the FUA whenever you don't have her Phantom UE skill ready. If you don't have the Phantom UE skill ready, that's when you will build up the FUA and then hit her, you know, 1-2 skill afterwards to get that increased active skill damage from her core. But if you have the Phantom UE skill ready, you hit your Awaken skill, then hit your Phantom UE skill, then you're going to get the max FUA automatically. You're going to get the max buffs from it, so you don't really have to worry about it. If I was playing this character, if she was at A5, I'd be playing her differently. I definitely would be doing things differently because I'd be trying to build up them 3 purple bars down to the bottom that's building up right now. I'd be trying to build those things up because she's going to do a lot more strike skill damage if they are built up. And she is all about those strike skills. Her 3rd skill is a strike skill. So she's going to do a lot more damage, obviously, whenever she's A5 and whenever she's maxed out, as with any character in the game. I actually thought she was bugged at first, but after playing with her a little bit and kind of working with her, it doesn't appear that she has any bugs at all. Let me know if you guys think she does, but I don't think she does. And I say that because after every update we get, it seems like we always got some characters that might have some bugs, some problems, but I haven't really noticed any with her. She seems to be locked in. Everything seems to be good, at least at A1, at least the way she is right now. Right now, what I was doing is I was just waiting for Geese to stand up. That way he doesn't do the Raging Storm Wave. He doesn't do that big stun slam. Because whenever you're in your default, he can't do that. Because it's an iframe, right? It's an invincibility frame. But man, I'm loving her, guys. I think she's really awesome. I think she's so fun to play. And I like that she's so unique and different from a lot of characters because what they did with her is you use her basic attacks to build up that FUA, but you also have the nice, you know, relaxed way of playing her to where you just can use that 3rd skill and pop, just do them kicks over and over and over, right? She's a really awesome mixed blend of characters that we've had in the past. You know, we've had characters that would just do a bunch of basic attack damage. We have characters that just do a bunch of active skill damage. And Juri is a mix of those characters, which is awesome. Plus, your 3PG is super, super long, which is also really, really nice. I mean, when you get down to 3PG, you got, you know, only 8 seconds before you can use it again. So that's not bad at all. Not bad. I'm also using Bison because he does give her a nice little striker bonus, decrease skill cooldown, increase attack, and he's just leveled up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it for you guys afterwards here if I can catch it quick enough, you know. We'll see how lightning fast my hands are. But we're going to, I just love this skill. I love that kick to the face she does. So awesome, right? But we did 141 billion at A1. That is a very good score for a character to do, guys. That's honestly pretty damn slick that she was able to do that. That's pretty damn nice, guys. Like, I'm pretty happy with Juri. I think she's a fantastic character, but we really never know just how strong these characters are or how good they are until they're leveled up. And that's kind of the thing for you new players, like players that's coming in this game right now. That's kind of the thing for you guys. Like, if you have these characters at A1, you're going to find that they are really awesome to have, like in Guild Raid and other game modes, but you're not going to be able to play them in a game mode like the Team Relay Challenge. You won't be able to play them here because this is cost up to 70. And the UE characters, and this is all UE characters, this just isn't Street Fighter, all the UE characters are at 75. They're all at 75. So you can't use them in there, and plus they have to be, you know, A3 to be able to be used in what's called the plugin plant. And this is where you can get those plugins. They need to be A3 in here, 3-star, otherwise you can't use them. So that's just something to think about. That's why I always try to tell players, you know, at least try to get your characters to A3. Otherwise, you won't be able to use them in certain game modes. But I'm having a ball with her, and she is definitely in your face with that butt, man. That thing is hilarious. Just see that butt sticking out. She looks like she's ready to give you a little love pat on the old face of that thing, if you know what I mean. It's freaking hilarious, right? She'd probably be like, you know, give you a quick kick at the end. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Juri. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. G2+7 time. Link in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.